The Spirit groans when we see evil. Elsewhere in the New Testament, it says, earth itself groans as in birth pains, waiting for Christ to return and make everything right. Now, why do I bring all that up? Because sometimes you see evil in your own life or on a video, or sometimes evil at the level of nations, one nation invading another nation, missiles flying into apartment complexes, little elementary age kids getting killed in the debris, bombings. You think of some of these Muslim countries where Christian churches get bombed every Easter, and you see, Christians bleeding, and it grieves you. These things are real. We don't like to think about them, but what can we do when we see these evils of the world? How do we, on the one hand, not numb ourselves and just bury our heads in the sand and never look at them, but on the other hand, we don't want to become fatalistic and depressed and get a news feed that we're always looking at all this violence and just getting more and more depressed every day. How do we process all this? How does God want us to handle all this? Well, Isaiah 40 gives us a hint when it says this in verse 23, God judges the great people of the world and brings them all to nothing. They hardly get started, barely taking root. Then he blows on them and they wither. The wind carries them off like chaff. In other words, part of the reason we have mortality and a lifespan is because we have a sin nature. And it's actually kind of a grace of God, because evil would just continue to spread and spread, that none of us are immortal in this life. But I want to focus you in on verse 23 when it says he judges the great people of the world. Here's how you can find comfort and solace and be centered when you see people being violent or racist or evil, is knowing that they will give account to God. God will judge them. Now, make no mistake about it. God is a God of love and compassion, and he's a God of justice and righteousness. And any sin that hasn't yet been forgiven when a person stands before God, they're going to pay the penalty for that sin. Now, the only way that you can stand before God and know that your sins have been paid for is by really accepting the work of Jesus on the cross. That's how your sins are forgiven and you're justified.